Hello and welcome to 321 Presents, your one-stop shop for culture, sports, and for this time, weather updates. I am your anchorman, Nick, with my co-host, Zach, and today we have a very rare event here. Our skies normally so sunny and clear. We have been blanketed in a strange phenomenon of solid rain. Zach, do you know anything more about this?
I know I do not like it. It is wet, it is cold, and I miss spring and summer.
Yes, our records indicate this is a thing that used to happen in the past where these strange white clumps of solid water fell from the sky with great regularity, but it has not happened for many moons.
It's too hot.
We are coming to you from a chilly Friday afternoon with some piping hot sports news. That we'll get out of the way now because it will not be piping hot by the time y'all are listening to this. It will be cooled for several days. But we here in the 321 Presents studio are awash in the frenzy of the hockey trade deadline. So I'll just get that out of the way now. And it was a big one.
Let's first off, new word of the day. Let's define awashed for all those folks who may not have read a book before in their lifetime.
Awash. We are
clean.
I mean, we're saturated in it. There's a lot of it to go around.
Okay, there we go.
We're up to our ears in it.
Nope, that was not at all the context I would have used, but thank you. Continue on.
Okay, very good. Yes, so the hockey trade deadline, as we discussed last week, has come and gone now, earlier this Friday afternoon, and our boys were busy. C-Mac up in the front office for the Avs, wheeling and dealing all week. We know we moved Sam Girard earlier. We made a couple moves for draft picks earlier in the week. Picked up a couple of new Knicks on the team. We've got Nick Blankenburg from Nashville to now fill in some extra depth on the defense. And we picked up Nicholas Waugh from the Toronto Maple Leafs by way of the Vegas Golden Knights. He was only a Maple Leaf because the Golden Knights had to dump salary at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, that was... And that was the big news of yesterday, of Thursday afternoon, and it looked like the big fish was going to get away from us, but no, in fact, the news broke after the trade deadline hit, that we did find a way to make the deal work with the Calgary Flames to bring Nazem Kadri home.
Is that a big fish?
He was the biggest fish of the trade deadline season at this point, yeah. Despite his age, he is now in his age 35 season this year. He is still a productive player. No one expects him to be the guy on the team, right? At this point in his career, which is what he was having to do in Calgary and why the numbers there aren't that great. He was the guy trying to make production happen with less talented players around him. He now gets to fold back into way more talented. Like the Flames were 31st in the league in the standings earlier this year or earlier today. So it's kind of a complete 180 from the bottom of the barrel up to the top of the heap again.
Huge upgrade for him.
Absolutely,
and a pretty decent upgrade for us as well.
Oh, this is gravy dreams. Like we were the Nicholas Waugh addition in the forward core was kind of like, okay, that's our third line center. And now you bump Parker Kelly down to fourth line center, and that's still a really solid core. Now we have Kadri in the third line center, and Nicholas Waugh probably as the fourth line center.
I thought he was a wing.
Well, that's the thing, is these guys are now, we have a whole lot of plug and play ability. And similar to the D line now, the rotation there, you're going to have guys compete. Like, we're going to have guys who have signed extensions and have long-term contracts getting scratched on a nightly basis, which is a great problem to have. The level of competition that you need. It's kind of what we did back in the 22 season as well, where some nights it might be Yoel Kiviranta or it might be a Ross Colton or something, but We have more quality players than we have roster spots now.
Not a bad problem to have, especially heading into the playoff season and with the schedule that they are about to go on.
Indeed. We are still in that crazy... Oh, this is a fun fact for the month of March, which we've now officially started. Every even-numbered day, the Avs are going to be playing.
It's every other day.
6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 18th, 20th, 22nd, 24th, 20th. There's a little bit of a break at the beginning of April, but it's a busy March.
I assume that there's going to be some odd days where we also have to play hockey. There's going to be some back-to-backs in there.
Back-to-backs are going to be on the menu come April. This is, surprisingly, the luxurious part of the end-of-the-year schedule where we do get a guaranteed day off in between each game. Some of those are still going to be travel days, thanks to the fun schedule that the NHL has put together for us. But yeah, this was by far the biggest headline news of the day. The Avs get Kadri back. That's going to be a nice new little tool to add to the potential power play. Fix that up. That's a right-handed shot that we've been missing since Rantanen left. And a guy who knows the system, knows how we want to play, knows the locker room. This is basically the only other player besides Gabe Landeskog who's going to give us like the morale boost too.
We like that.
Absolutely. We don't really have any more draft picks left for a while, for a few more years. I think we're looking at, for this upcoming draft, we have 4ths and 5ths, and then 27 and 28, we are down to 2 picks, 1 in each draft.
Adorable.
So it's this is very much a all chips in sort of move, which again, we know that everyone is kind of aligned with the vision right now. You have some of the best hockey players in the world. This is hard for me to say as a fan of the Avs and who holds that 2001 roster in very high regard. This might be a better roster than that on paper.
We'll see if they have the juice to do what that one did.
Hopefully, we will see. Blankenberg and Waugh are already with the team. Their trades having come earlier in the week. They have been able to make it. The Avs are playing tonight. A very important 4-point swing game in Dallas against the Stars, who are without Mikko right now. Mikko and Sid the Kid both came back from the Olympics pretty beat up, as did Hillary Knight, who they had to put on like long-term injured reserve immediately. She's like, yeah, actually, I was playing on a torn MCL in the Olympics.
Not ideal.
Not ideal for the Seattle Torrent, but kind of worth it for the gold medal.
Who's to say?
Indeed. The other funny notes, there was a few other moves around the league. Nashville was a big seller. Calgary ended up being a very big seller as well. For some reason, the Tampa Bay Lightning decided they don't want to win the Cup this year because they went ahead and traded for Corey Perry.
They're trying to break the curse.
Well, they're not gonna, because they're a borderline bubble team right now, I believe. Let me double check that as I'm saying that here. Oh, no, never mind. They're first in the East. They're first in the Atlantic. Tied. That can't be right. What a topsy-turvy league we've come into here. The Lightning are tied for the lead in the Atlantic Division with the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Madness. Absolutely madness. That is good for second place in the East overall. The Carolina Hurricanes at 84 points are leading the league there. But they're all eating the dust of the 91-point Colorado Avalanche, who are the first team to 40 wins this year and continue to lead the pace. Which, if I'm being quite honest, this is probably a better year to be a fan of one of those like in the pack hunt teams for this stretch. It doesn't feel great to be the number one spot and just like, don't let anyone catch you. Don't let anyone catch you.
It's scary.
It's not a great feeling, but it'll be fun come playoff time.
Yeah, imagine how those F1 and NASCAR drivers feel.
Yeah, I imagine it is very similar. My other sports specialty here, and then we'll kick it over to you for basketball. A little note out of baseball while we are still in spring training for the MLB. the World Baseball Classic is getting ready to get underway. The beloved national team tournament that happens every 4 years, I guess, as well. And we've been entertained this week by seeing these big national juggernaut super teams, basically just Team USA and Team Japan mostly, have been getting in some exhibition games against the MLB and Japanese teams, respectively. The Rockies got mercy ruled against Team USA on Wednesday, I believe.
How does that even happen in baseball?
Well, in spring training, they're all quite aware of what's going on. In fact, it's basically batting practice for Team USA. The final on that one was 14-4, and when they got to the bottom of the 8th and it was a 10-run gap, they're like, we don't need to play the 9th inning.
We're good here.
Yeah. In fact, the Rockies even lent some pitchers to Team USA so that they wouldn't have to burn through all their bullpen arms just to get through the game.
Oh, how kind of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Team Japan played earlier today, I want to say, and Shohei was 3 for 3 with a grand slam and was a triple shy of the cycle in 3 at-bats against the Japanese league teams.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so he's definitely ready for defending Team Japan's title at the World Baseball Classic, and that will be what most of the good players in the league are doing for the next couple of weeks, although not all of them. I don't know if you caught any of that some of the big name players do not get to play for their national teams because they couldn't put up the insurance to leave their MLB team.
What does that even mean?
So I think the biggest case that I heard of was Jose Altuve does not get to play for, I want to say, Team Venezuela, because the MLB teams want like an insurance policy on these players so that
in case they get hurt or whatever.
If they get hurt playing this non-MLB tournament, that they are not losing all the money that they're paying that player for the season. And I think I remember hearing something about Bad Bunny tried to pay for the insurance for Altuve, and the league for some reason wouldn't let him do it.
Hey, good on them.
Yeah. But Zach, go ahead and tell us about what's going on in the world of basketball. I know we got that Unrivaled Championship, and the NBA is in action again as well.
Yeah, we'll start with the Unrivaled Championship. They just finished up their playoffs, today being the 6th. They finished on the 4th for their grand finale. The Mist came out as the winners. They were the number 2 team going into the playoffs. Oddly enough, they did face off against the Phantom in that playoffs. They did come out with the victory, 80-74 in that guy. So another good win for them. Also, great story from a team that was basically tied for the bottom to becoming the very top team.
Yeah, huge turnaround for the Phantom. Never fun to take the L at the very end there, but I'm sure second place still gets a nice little chunk of change too.
Yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at. Alicia Gray, who's on that team, also won second in the one-on-one tournament, and then was, I do believe, second in the free-to-throw contest that they did earlier this season. So she's coming away with, I think, like just $200 grand in her pocket just from competition wins.
I'm pretty sure I saw that Chelsea Gray, by winning that 1v1 tournament, made more in that event than she did for her entire WNBA season.
That is true. That is true for a lot of these players. And funny enough, winner for this one is going to go to, of course, the owner of the Unrivaled, Breanna Stewart. Ends up hitting the game winner.
Yep. I did see that it was a little bit of the very last play was a bit disappointing because it was like an overturned charge call, and then she went on a free throw.
Sometimes that's just the way. It sucks to lose that way, but if you play the game right, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, she did finish with 32 points to her name, and
Kelsey Plum put up 40 in that game, if I remember reading correctly.
She did. Kelsey Plum's been hooping the past, ever since she's left Vegas. She's gotten back to her being a bucket days.
Yeah, a real impressive performance. She tried to bring the Phantom to the promised land there. Breanna Stewart now with one of the most impressive trophy cases in women's sports history.
Yep, NCAA championship. She has probably some high school championships, if I had to guess. She has an WNBA championship and an Unrivaled championship.
Yep, every chip you can have.
She has some MVPs to her name as well. So
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I did just see come across my news feed here. of that winning Mist team, Arika Agumbawale has been arrested after a battery assault charge. It does look like in the celebration at a Miami nightclub after the win, she did go ahead and punch a dude in the face.
Yeah, not ideal, but she also did have a decent game, so hopefully things work out for her and the whole situation gets resolved.
Yeah, just kind of funny to imagine, the dude has. There's no way the dude knew who she was, and then to get decked out by one of the best athletes in women's in sports. Period. It's a bad time.
Yeah, I can only imagine Miami nightclub dude. Probably, maybe, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not gonna say. Let you figure out the puzzle pieces from
we
there.
We all have our own mental picture, and
Yep. Continuing on with the women's sports, we are still not getting close to what sounds like a WNBA CBA agreement. They just seem so far apart still.
And as of recording, only 4 days to get a deal done.
Yeah, from what I've heard is they are giving them half percentages on things that they really want and are trying to throw in some extra stuff everywhere where they don't really care to have the money.
Yeah, that has also been the news I've been seeing as well. A lot of like, oh, we'll upgrade the facilities and whatnot. And they're like, yeah, but what about that revenue share, dog?
We want the revenue share. We want more money in our pockets. It's just the way. Like the crazy thing for those who are out there, we know about the profit sharing. When you go buy your favorite NFL jersey, NBA jersey, the players get a cut. The NBA, I do believe, is a 50-50 cut, so half goes to the basically the pot for all the owners, and half goes to the player himself. In the WNBA, 98% of that goes into the owner's pot, and then the player gets about 2% back. So,
which is a wild disparity.
Not a very good split.
Yeah, like the 50-50 one for the NBA is like real sweet for the players. That's probably better than what they want to be doing out there. But yeah, 98-2 is pretty insulting.
Very much so. I don't know if there's any hope without going on a strike here, to be honest.
It certainly looks that way.
Doesn't seem to be any good faith on the owner's side, and they're trying to hold on to that revenue share, but also trying to display a picture that's not true. Also, there's been no sort of action done by the NBA to help the WNBA. Like Adam Silver hasn't been in any of the meetings. It's all been, unfortunately, Kathy, who we know.
Is not on great standing with the negotiation team from the Players Association.
Absolutely not.
And I was also seeing a little bit of some of the negotiators for the Players Association are getting. It sounds like there is a little bit of mixed feelings in the players' camp about whether or not like they should go strike or not. But they already have the vote authorized to do so that we covered like back in December.
Yeah, like I can imagine like for a lot of the players who are coming in here, I mean, if you're really the top player, you really are going to see that top buck. But for a lot of these players, it's a huge upgrade in salary bump, like a massive salary bump for a lot of these women out here. But I don't know if it's worth it if you're not getting the profit share, because that's going to be the thing that they're never going to be able to give a thought. It's better to fight that. If
you don't go for it now when you have all the leverage, you do kind of leave some money on the table there, and it's tough decision when you are part of an employee union like that and like the leadership of that union to be like, look, I know if we do go on strike, that's going to be bad for the majority of players who are not on the big contracts and like maybe the ones who didn't play Unrivaled or an off-season league or something. But also those are the people who exactly will benefit most from holding out and getting the best deal possible.
Agree.
So that's a tough balancing act there.
Yeah. Over on the men's side, though, the NBA, something weird's going on over there in the Golden State City. The Warriors seem to have found life out there without Stephen Curry, without Klay Thompson. Draymond Green is there. He is not getting thrown out of any games, luckily, but they found a way. They're finding out how to play together with all their young guns. It's not ideal for anybody.
That's a lot of strange developments in the league this year.
Yeah, it's extra strange because like Steph Curry's been hurt for a little bit. Like we said, there's been no Klay for the past couple years. They traded away the pool party. He's down in New Orleans, I think, doing something ridiculous, if I had to guess. But their core role players and whatnot have all kind of figured out what their role is, and they just play really, really hard, and it seems to work for them. They faced off against the Rockets last night after playing us super tough, and they took them to overtime and actually won there, which is ridiculous. They should have probably won in regulation, to be real, but I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's in the water or what magic they have agreed to.
That's still Steve Kerr coaching over there, right?
It is.
That would probably be my first guess.
Potentially. I guess he just has a way. They did get rid of Kuminga, who is down in Atlanta having a much better time than he was in Golden State, from all the benefits that I've heard that they were taken away from him. But yeah, it just seems to be working. In the Miles High City here, the Nuggets have fallen all the way down to 5th place from our 3rd place earlier in the All-Star break. What is the leading cause of this? Well, a 5-5 record. We're kind of just winning. We're winning one day and losing the next. Not really ideal. We play some really good. I'm not even saying a full game. We play a really good half up to a 3rd quarter, maybe. But that 3rd and 4th quarter just kind of looks like we run out of gas.
Some real troubling issues with finishing games that seem like we have them in the bag.
Yeah, our defensive rating is sliding quite drastically, or has slid quite drastically. I think we're like the 31st or 29th best or defensive team in the league out of 32 or something like that.
Ouch.
Not ideal. 30 or 32. It's very bottom.
I did see some little hope on the horizon. Aaron Gordon looks like he's getting ready for to come back into action.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon, I think it was projected sometime this week, like he could actually go.
He's starting to warm up again.
He did his first practice earlier this week, so we're recording on Friday, so I think he did it, a couple days ago. Wednesday was his first live action. P. Watt's not there yet, but he's close behind Gordon. So when we see Gordon back, not much longer will we see P. Watt back. Again, though, 5th place, not a bad place to be. Ideally, don't want to be in that play-in. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Because there's just some Cinderella teams that can really upset you. And from what we are or who we've been this season, what we've seen we're capable of, the highs of the highs, like we've seen where our ceiling is. Playing a lot in the basement right now. Kind of need to get out of there and get back to form.
Indeed. And again, it's a lot of the core guys have been hurt, still getting everyone back up to speed and back into different rotations and whatnot. So definitely room for growth, but the slide down to 5 is a little upsetting, especially now. It's a pretty tight bunching here in the middle of the West.
Yeah, not ideal. Basically anywhere from we're sitting 5, so from where 4 down to 8 is anywhere could. Yeah. In a week, things could change pretty drastically.
Yeah, for sure. So looking for a strong finish to the season there with hopefully a fully recovered roster.
Indeed. Speaking of recovered, the Boston Celtics are going to get Jason Tatum back tonight, finally, after he tore his ACL in the playoffs. So
that's pretty good. Less than a full calendar year.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting players back now 6 to 8 months. They don't always go.
It's not always great.
Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But we'll see how it goes.
It's still miraculous. An ACL used to be maybe a career ender. And now we're back. Then it was okay, no, you can be back in 12 to 18 months. And then it was kind of 12 months.
Once it started to happen a little bit more often, we kind of figured out the science behind it and kind of worked it out. The Boston Celtics right now, 2nd in the East, 41-21. They would be the 3rd best team in the West, though, oddly enough. And that's even without Jason Tatum. So getting their real big dog back and playing with the way they've been playing, I think that's a lot of brightness over there in the East, potentially going back to a championship if they can fight off the Knicks and the Pistons. It seems like everyone else is really a day-to-day.
As we all expected, the Pistons to be number 1 in the East.
Hey, I got to give them credit from what they did last year, just making the playoffs to going back to what I would call their roots. They're just bully ball. We're going to be physical. We're going to play hard defense, and then we're just going to play good basketball on the offensive end, and it'll work out. And that seems to be working.
And their record is almost as good as the Thunder now.
Yeah, that's insane.
And speaking of, right on their tails, the Spurs.
Yeah, Wemby is a problem. He's kind of figuring it out. Not ideal for sure for anybody who is getting older on the side, because Wemby, this is only his 3rd year in the league.
Yeah, he's gonna get smarter, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah. Daft Punk and all that.
They did finally break that winning streak, though. It looks like.
Yeah, an insane winning streak.
Let's see. Any other sports news we have this week?
No, not from the top of my head.
Very good. Well, then, before we stray too far from the world of basketball, I've got that second batch of basketball quotes here. If we want to play another
Who-
round of Who Said That?
Who said them things?
If you do not remember from our last session a couple weeks ago, I've got some quotes about basketball or by basketball players, one or the other. They're basketball relevant. To see if my co-host Zach here can tell who said these things about his beloved game. And last time I stumped you pretty good.
You did.
We've got another batch here to go, and I think this one is a pretty good, easy one to start us off here. I'm tired of hearing about money, 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 money. I just want to play the game, drink Pepsi, wear Reebok.
That sounds like Shaq for sure. That is
Ding,
for
ding,
sure
ding.
Shaq, because I was like, one, there's only two Reeboks, and it's funny how them Reebok athletes repeat themselves over and over again.
That's funny that you're telling that was the brand of shoe and not just like the.
It's the brand of shoe, and it's all the advertisements inside of it that were happening.
All right, very strong start then. This one I like.
Also, what is Shaq doing drinking Pepsi in the middle of a season?
Back in the 90s? Oh yeah, Pepsi was the big sponsor.
Yeah, but why are you drinking it during the season? That's
because
just
they pay better than Gatorade.
Yeah, okay.
This is a fun one because it has a little bit of math involved in it as well. This next quote for Who Said That? We're going to turn this team around 360 degrees.
I remember this quote too. I can't remember. I'm trying to think who said it. I know it's some coach.
He is a coach now, yeah.
Oh, so he was a player.
Yep.
Is a coach now. Huh.
Pretty certain. Let me double check that on currentness of that, but he definitely had been a coach.
He's coached somewhere.
He is still currently a coach.
360 degrees.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Ooh. I have no clue.
That was Jason Kidd.
Oh, that is. Yeah, J Kidd doesn't. He's kind of dumb, but
yeah,
he's a very brilliant basketball guy.
For those who don't get the joke, if you turn around 360 degrees, you're facing the exact same
You're
direction.
back where you were.
Yep. Fantastic. Here's another good one on Who Said That?
I would never expected him to say, because he's kind of a little bit more quiet. There's probably a reason he stopped.
Yeah, yeah. Once you have that one on your name, you're like, nah, I'm going to be a little bit more careful about when I open my mouth.
Yes and no's only, please.
All right, our next quote. I want everyone to know you can play basketball in Canada and you can still get to where you need to go.
A Canadian, huh? Interesting.
And now you know I only know a couple of Canadian basketball players.
Yeah, Jamal Murray is probably the best guess if I had to say.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, a little softball there.
Yeah, that one feels... That's
just kind of funny the tone he takes it. You can play basketball in Canada and still get somewhere.
He's very funny in his interviews. He's actually got a very cool personality. He takes nothing serious for the most part.
Yeah, it's good guy to have in the roster here. All right, my next one is our first curveball of the round here, and we'll give you the quote first, and then see if you can figure it out. I was actually supposed to be a basketball player, not an actress. My parents had me playing basketball in competitive teams when I was in kindergarten. Even though my heart belongs to the arts, I'm a tomboy at heart too.
Some sort of actress.
Yep.
Feels like a lot of the comedians that tend to be hoopers and actual basketball
actress
players.
Who is inclined toward basketball at a young age, and probably because she's very tall.
Which requires me to know the heights of things and the heights of people. They all look very tall in the movies, to be fair. They're on the giant screen.
And this actress in particular has a little bit of an unfair advantage because she's partnered up with a short king.
All these clues, they mean nothing to me.
If you want to throw in the towel, I'll go ahead and tell you.
I'm throwing in the towel.
That's Zendaya.
Oh! But Zendaya is not that tall.
For actresses, for sure.
I mean, yeah, she's like 5, because Tom Holland is 5'7".
Tom Holland is average actor height, which is extremely short.
He's 5'7", and she's like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10".
I think she's at least 5'10", if not 5'11".
I think she's 5'10", is what I remember. But whereas shoes and things and all that, we know what your real height is.
All right, here's another curveball. This one is not a basketball player, but an athlete in a different field. Is my opening clue here.
I like it.
Hockey is a sport for white men. Basketball is a sport for black men. Golf is a sport for white men dressed like black pimps.
I want to say Biz because what wildness did I just witness?
I mean, that I could see it coming out of his mouth. I'll tell you, that's not the sport.
Whoever said this has to have something they have to have a credential where they can't be canceled because that's a wild statement.
Now, that's an interesting way to frame it because, well, he might have. He
should have got canceled for this comment for sure.
No, it's not for the things that have come out of his mouth that he's gotten in trouble in for before, but he has been in trouble.
Oh, Brett Favre.
No. Different
trouble. My bad. I have not a clue.
This is attributed to Tiger Woods.
Interesting, Tiger.
Yeah. We'll get you one that's a little bit more wholesome here.
That wasn't wholesome?
Yeah, it's borderline. How about I can accept failure, but I cannot accept not trying.
Every basketball coach in the world has said that. I'm pretty sure I've said that on repeat all season long this season, actually.
And you were unknowingly quoting one of the legends of the game.
Legend of the game. This feels like it has to come from like a college coach because that's where some of the real coaches. That's where most people say the real coaches are.
I mean, this is like such a generic thing that it is probably like could be attributed to several different people.
Like I said, me a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I'm gonna throw Bobby Knight out there because why not?
That was an MJ quote.
Ah,
it's not a very like signature one, but he said it. A lot of other people did too, I'm sure.
Every basketball coach across the world has said that at least once in their life.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll call this one the last one for this round. The only difference between a good shot and a bad shot is if it goes in or not.
That is. Hold on here. Before we go any further, that is false. For all the kids listening to this, that is a not true statement. There are a lot of bad shots that go in. There's a good shot. There's a lot of things that go into a good shot. The result is a very small piece of it.
And I think that's pretty telling as to who probably said this, who would hold that opinion of if it goes in, it's good.
There's a lot of Jordan Poole. Luka's done some ridiculous things, but I can't say his. Jordan Poole's up there with some of the stupidest things I've ever heard that could attribute to that. Who would have actually said this? This feels like a Kobe Bryant quote potentially because he's very result driven, but he knows better than this. This would have had to been a younger Kobe. Gilbert Arenas feels very good for this because he knows no bad shot. We'll settle. Ooh, we're gonna go a ways. We're gonna go Reggie Miller. Why not?
This was a Chuck quote.
Chuck.
Yeah, I decided to kind of bookend it with Shaq and Chuck there.
Chuck, no. This is why the kids are ruined today.
Yeah, that might have a little bit to do with it, but a very strong showing, a stronger showing this time on Who Said That.
We're learning.
Absolutely. So we'll see if I can dig up any other outlandish things.
There are so many. I can promise. You've seen. There are so many from a bunch of obscure sources and whatnot that just have happened.
But trying to, we could go for some real outlandish ones. The Venn diagram of making sure it's someone we both know is really the challenging factor there.
There's some that are just said by some nobodies, but they are so hilarious.
Exactly. Another fantastic round of Who Said That. Then we can transfer out of our sports mindset and cover the wide world of music, movies, and TV. My little notes for the music department this week. And it's actually from last week because this also came out on the same day as The Mountain from Gorillaz, but I had a lot more to say about that one. Bruno Mars dropped a new album for us.
It's a shorty.
It's a little tiny guy, just 9 tracks. It's called The Romantic, and you've probably heard the single off of it by now if you listen to music at all. And that is probably the highlight of it, but it has I think 3 really strong, like Mexican vibe tunes that
Very Latin inspired.
some real La Raza vibes going on, especially in the music video for what's the first track off of there?
Is that Cha 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 or Risk It All?
Risk It All has the very Mexican music video. Cha Cha Cha's up there, and then what's the other one?
I just might.
I
Just
Just
like
Might
the
is the very disco 70s
single.
one. Something Serious is the other very Latin one.
Oh yeah.
But the thing I wanted to say about the I Just Might single, very good. The classic Bruno Mars sound with the kind of 70s funk going on. The setting for the video is all very 70s. It is a concept where he is every member of the band and the lead singer and the camera person that I have already seen before. And it's not a brand new concept. It's been done by many people, but I do have to shout out a group that I am very fond of who has done this about 6 years ago called Ginger Root, and it's a much lower production value effort, but a very also fitting for the times execution of that sort of. The singer is every person on stage and also the film crew, which is a fun. It's like knowing the technical production on how to do that is wild. That they had to you have to do a take for every position for them to be in there. It's crazy.
I mean, we can go back even further. Outkast did it in Hey Ya back in the 2000s.
Oh, there you go.
Andre 3000 was Big Boy was on the stage with him, but Andre 3000 was a singer, every member of the band, and was also like the director of the thing.
Fantastic. Well, if you listening at home can think of any other music videos where the artist has been every person in the band on the stage in the performance, leave us a comment about it, because I only had those 2 to pull from. So, and I'm sure there's more. I guarantee there's a lot more than that.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty more. Depends on how niche and whatnot you want to go, though.
Tell me all of them. If you can find the music vids, I want to hear about it. And build up my library of knowledge here. Did you have any music news this week?
I did not. You actually stole my thunder with the Bruno Mars. Very very good album though. It is.
Yeah. If you're into Bruno, it's more of what you probably like about him.
If you have 30 to 40 minutes to spare,
it goes by real quick. Yeah. Which is probably my only complaint about it is it's almost like EP length as opposed to album length.
From the music podcast that I would listen to that's effectively dead now, RIP. their general rule is if you are at 11 tracks, you're perfect. Any more than that is too much. Any less than that feels too short.
That's about, I think, yeah, I would say 11 to 13. There's a little range there.
I love me. I do love me just a good old. Give me all 24 tracks of this album.
Very rarely
to the dome.
do we get a double album anymore, but yeah, I also am a big fan of the big dose of music. Because those big ones you have, they've considered the arrangement and everything. There's a lot more thought put into them generally.
Hopefully, at least.
One would hope, for sure. Fantastic. Well, my little teaser from the movies and TVs category this week, Nathan Fillion, for our elder millennials out there, has been teasing a potential Firefly reunion / remake /
continuation / that series did never end / it's a cult classic that I have not watched because I know it doesn't end.
Well, so the TV series itself got canceled before they wrote a finale to it, but then they did come back and make a movie that does have a lot of, it seems like canonical, it seems like they're picking up from the end of, the movie is called Serenity, if anyone's interested in checking it out, and it does do a pretty good job of tying up a lot of the loose ends from the series, and then also leaving them in a very interesting place from a story perspective, because there are spoilers, some crew members die, at least one.
Yeah.
So originally when Firefly came out, it was a cult classic. since then, Joss Whedon, who is the writer director behind it, has been less than favorably viewed in the writing and producing community for some not great behavior in his personal life with women that he knows and whatnot. So I don't know if he will be involved as much, but it does seem like Nathan Fillion has Avengers assembled together the original cast and has been teasing an announcement of some sort coming next week.
It's a season of reboots, baby.
It's definitely, I mean, yeah, we've got the Malcolm one coming later this year. Scrubs is off and running to critical acclaim. Who else has been rebooting lately?
I feel like there's been a lot more.
Those are the big ones.
The ones that everyone really cares about.
Yeah. If you can think of any other reboot projects going on, tell us in the comments. It's escaping our minds right now.
Indeed.
And then the other little bits. So we've been covering the long saga of the WB, Paramount, Netflix. Will they, won't they?
A saga is just too nice at this point. It's longer than a saga. We're
an epic.
Yeah, this is just a tale that never ends. It feels like I'm within a fantasy book now. I'm only probably halfway through this guy, but it's sure dragging.
Yeah, we got a long way to go on this still. The little bit of news to discuss this week, though, is that the companies have said, so we already know Paramount is going ahead with the acquisition of the WB company, and they have said that they will merge their streaming platforms when that deal is finalized.
Here we go again.
But as part of that,
which one I'm curious which one they keep, because God forbid it be Paramount Plus. Their UI sucks.
I think everyone knows Paramount Plus is a garbage
Their UI
app.
sucks so bad compared to, I mean, HBO's isn't perfect.
Yeah.
There are some things I wish that they were like life things. What is it called? The
quality of
life things that I would much rather have and need on that.
The HBO one is just an older, more well-polished app.
The Paramount one is garbage.
Yeah.
So garbage.
And that was one of the big detractions and like losses of value to the streaming like landscape is when everyone's decided they needed their own streamer. If you're making your app fast and dirty, it's not going to be good. And yeah, we can see the Paramount Plus, one of the last into the game, and they have a lot of the warts to show for.
Where are your filters?
Filters, yeah. Episode control, like, is it going to play all my episodes?
Yeah, garbage.
Terrible. But the other thing is that the WB company is probably going to have a fair bit of layoffs. And one of the divisions that basically no one outside of the video game world has talked about is WB Games, who are not a big publisher, but were the producers of the Hogwarts Legacy game, also do all the Mortal Kombats and your DC universe of games, which unfortunately is probably the reason that they are going to get cut in this deal, because they lost about $360 million trying to make the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, that game was not super
It was dead
good
before it arrived, and yeah, they burnt a lot of money on that project. So just a real rough time out in video game development land is kind of my takeaway from that. Yes, also the whole, what will the streaming fusion look like? Will it be an improvement, or will it be the worst of both?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know. Do you want just kind of a little bit more of an inside look? Oliver, who was the correspondent for?
Oh, John Oliver.
John Oliver does his new show on HBO Max and has been talking a little bit about how the merger affects him, and like he has his own thing with HBO, but they also own CNN as well. So they're very much up in the air as to what things are going to look like, or if they even exist. Come merger time.
For sure, especially knowing that CBS has already caved into pressure to cancel Late Night with Colbert, which will be coming to an end sometime later this year after they finish the current season they're on. And that's it was a thing that seemed unthinkable for a long time for these big networks to not have a late night show, but by and large, most people don't stay up watching cable TV to have that like regular night TV slot to fill. Like that is not a hot commodity anymore.
Not anymore. I mean, there is some value in having like the news shows, like the John Oliver still does pretty successfully. CNN does their version of basically kind of like a Daily Show-ish type of thing. It's called Have I Got News for You?
Oh, is that the Roy Woods one?
It's the Roy Woods Jr. one that kind of got reboot from something that was.
I'm surprised that's a
envisioned 80
CNN
years.
product. That's a little.
It's their step out, and I think it's one of their better projects.
Oh,
they're
for
like
sure, yeah.
number 2 in their whole category, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's got to be because
I think
that's a great show.
They're only following like the Daily Show, if I remember correctly.
That checks out. And that's a little surprising to me because since Trevor Noah left the Daily Show, like they have a solid cast of correspondents over there now, but because they're kind of doing the constant rotation of who's behind the desk and all that, they don't feel quite as
I don't like the Daily Show
established anymore.
Without I want a prime host, and I wish they would have picked up because Roy Woods asked to do it, and they basically told him
he wasn't going to get the job. So yeah,
he decided to go off to greener pastures where he found a job for himself for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And because I mean, that was probably a tough call for the Comedy Central execs, but it definitely, because it was, if anything, probably a bigger investment into the Daily Show than they wanted to do. Like it has been on a decline ever since John left the first time.
Yeah, I mean, once John left the first time, it's been down. I mean, Trevor Noah like steadied the ship in his shows and kind of brought back a lot of different viewership and new viewership along with him. But when he stepped away, it kind of just
it's like that. For a sports analogy, you had an all-time great in a key position. You now have to go through a time of sort of like we're going to rebuild around some cheaper, younger players. And maybe we don't have the appeal anymore because we're not as competitive, but you do have to stick around long enough to find your new shining star.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, all the correspondents now on The Daily Show have something else going on, whether they're a role in a different show or are doing their own stand-up tours or whatnot. I mean, the rotation is fine. I get it, and you get a lot of different feels. Like Josh Jackson did, or not Josh Jackson. Who's the comedian?
Oh, Josh. I think it's Johnson.
Yeah, Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson did his week there with him and got outstanding reviews, but we know he's doing sort of his own things.
He pops it back in every now and then.
He's a correspondent, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that is sort of like Jordan Klepper's there most nights, and was it Ronnie Chang?
Ronnie Chang's there every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just having lived through the golden era of The Daily Show when it was Jon Stewart, Colbert, Ed Helms, Rob Corddry, like all guys who went on to go do big media careers for like in their after career. John Oliver in the second wave of correspondence when they started filling those empty spots. Yeah. It doesn't quite feel like, The Daily Show has that same prestige anymore.
I mean, there's still a lot of star power there, especially for newer comedians. If that's your thing, if you know them, have gotten to see some of their stuff that they do on social media or the other project that they've done. Only problem is it's just so hard to connect with something that's rotating all the time. Like everyone likes stability. That's why we all go watch Scooby-Doo when we're sad or anxious or depressed.
Yes, we all go watch Scooby-Doo when we're anxious or depressed.
Or a Hallmark movie, because you know what the formula is. You know how it's always going to work out. It feels nice and comfortable. You're never going to go watch a Jordan Peele movie because God forbid, especially a new one.
What I was... it was a Colbert interview when he had Ryan Coogler on, and he had a funny bit about how when he's feeling down and needs a pick-me-up, his go-to movie is John Carpenter's The Thing, which, if you're not familiar, is about a shapeshifter in the Arctic who causes, like, it's a bunch of people out there on, like, a research expedition, and then they figure out that there's a shapeshifter among them, and a tense thriller, and by no means a traditional feel-good movie pick.
Yeah, there's some weird ones out there. Coogler, Coogler, as we know, he likes kind of he hasn't done a spooky scary quite yet until someone, of course, is going to give him the X-Files, which is like the only thing he really wants to do and needs to ever do, because, I mean, the Black Panthers, we kind of forget about too. We'd remove that one.
I mean, Black Panther 2 kind of gets an asterisk for me. That's a hard curveball to deal with when your star actor dies.
Yeah, I get it. It's just not. It's tough. This is an impossible position to be in.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a banger like the first one. I mean, all the Creeds were very good. What's the new vampire?
Sinners.
Sinners
was a banger. Yeah, I mean, he's basically, put a body of work out already before he turned 40 that most directors would be jealous of, and he kind of has blank check creative freedom now.
The man broke the whole industry with the contract. He gets revenue from the movie that he has created, produced, and done all this stuff. Never's been done before, because that's billions, potentially millions of billions of dollars that you got to shell out that the company.
It's probably going to go down in the same ballpark as George Lucas having the foresight to get merchandising percentage on the Star Wars contract. When no one knew if Star Wars was going to make money, and he was just like, "Hey, what about I get a percentage on merch sales, though?"
Yeah, you can give me whatever you want for this, but I just want this little piece here, and everyone's like, "This is idiot. This movie's never going to beat this."
And then over the life of it, you're going to be sitting pretty.
And there's sometimes that there are people you just can't miss on. The Shohei Ohtanis of the world for the sports, the Ryan Cooglers of the directors. Guys that who are going to just go out there and produce an absolute banger every single time.
Yeah, I mean, what a lucky time for us to be here to enjoy these movies. For a long time in the probably 60s, 70s, 80s, it was Scorsese, De Niro was like your director-actor combo.
Yeah.
Who you'd always see them together. And
I do like me a Coogler, Michael B. Jordan movie, let me tell you.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see Michael B. Jordan play Mulder and Scully in the X-Files.
It just turns into an Eddie Murphy flick.
But a serious drama.
The Nutty Professor.
Nah. I mean, although I would watch a Michael B. Jordan reboot of Nutty Professor.
Also as Scully, Michael B. Jordan as Mulder, Michael B. Jordan as the alien.
Yeah, exactly. We're right on the same page here. Very good. Do we have anything else to discuss this week?
No, I have a lengthier talk, but we can discuss next week, and I'll save it for my podcast, and we can chew and mold and do all my favorite little philosophical questions that we like to think on.
Oh, delightful. Terrible news to report out of the first period of Avs versus Stars. We're down 3-1.
Every time I look at the score, some of the scores, especially in the first period, is like down 3-1, and then by the time I look at the third, it's like it's 3-3. We're going to go to overtime anyway. So just like I was a little worried to watch the one I was worried about was the Ducks. That score kind of scared me because it's like you get up 2-0, and then it's like here
2-2. Yeah, all of a sudden that one was a little scary as well. But yeah, no, we went out, and surprisingly, the Kings and the Ducks gave us not very much trouble, and they are both pretty competitive this year. So that was a nice little refreshment out of the break there. But yeah, we'll hopefully have better news on the outcome of this game by next week.
Indeed. With that being said, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of 321 Presents. Of course, if you have not been subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you're listening there, or following the podcast wherever it may be, Apple, Spotify, please do so. Give us a rating, give us some thumbs ups, add a little comment wherever you might be. All those apply there. We love the interaction. Like we said, give us all the movies where people play a bunch of the same character and bands who play all the people in the band, the director, and even maybe the audience. We love all the things.
Yes, you will have homework as the audience, so you do need to make sure you have next time brought your answer for a different either music video or a movie poll.
Yeah, let's see how obscure we can actually get Nick to go down this rabbit hole. He is more than willing, I can guarantee you that.
You know I love to click down some Wikipedias.
Yeah, insanity. But we will see you guys next week. Of course, I have been the co-host on this one. My name is Zach, and of course, the weatherman bringing in all the storms, thankfully.
It's cold and I don't like it.
Yeah, Nick is unhappy. We'll see you guys.
Adios.